You're going to want to stay tuned because we're going to show you how we reshape this damaged metal and bring it from this to this without harming the factory paint finish or replacing any parts. Whoa, Bryce, this thing has paint damage. Why would you fix the metal and then not have it repainted? Well, this customer did his research and realized quickly he has options. To get that repaint, it would come with basically cutting the entire uniside off of the vehicle. When he went to several body shops, they all told him this. They said that he'd have to cut the uniside or section, basically cutting behind the cab, this area back here. They would cut right there and then weld a new part in. And you know, who wants to do that? I know I wouldn't. It's a brand new vehicle. If you can keep the original metal and all the welds intact and not have to have any body filler or anything done like that, it's always going to be better, especially when it's done at a high level. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. This metal is in full motion, and you can see we've got lateral tension set up here. In most cases, we're going to be using lateral tension for a repair like this because it basically takes the stress off of the deep impact. And anytime you can do that, you're going to have a much cleaner repair in the end. You're not forcing anything into position. I would almost say it's mandatory on a repair like this because one thing we battle on a repair like this is locking things up. And what that means in the paintless dent repair world is we're basically forcing the metal and not allowing that metal to flow or travel. So when we're pulling on this damage, we're actually simultaneously releasing some of the stress, the outer stress that was caused from the impact initially going in. And that's what gives us proper flow. So to demonstrate, we have a pull tower that is suctioned to the floor, believe it or not. And we're going to use a ratchet strap, pulling on these tabs that are glued to the panel. And we're going to go ahead and knock these stress areas. These are crowns or buckles. And that's just basically stored energy. That's where the metal stopped moving during the impact. And doing these types of repairs oftentimes involves releasing metal in a systematic fashion. Otherwise, you're not listening to the metal and you're forcing it. And in the end, typically what happens is you have a big wavy repair. And we don't want that. We want a very nice, clean factory look when we're done. So once we've got all the big, bulky stuff out, we've got the general shape back to the panel, it's time to do some fine tuning. And we use stand liner tools. They give an amazing finish. This is a razor, and we use that probably every day. It's one of those everyday tools. And here's another everyday stand liner tool. This is a triple bend mini, great for getting in corners of areas, really tight areas. And now we're going to do some blending. And blending is essential because it basically ties everything together in the end, giving us that factory finish. So one of the options this customer was pondering was possibly having the vehicle wrapped with vinyl just to kind of conceal the paint damage. And this is a perfect example of just that. We repaired that dent and then the customer just had it rewrapped with vinyl. And I mentioned to him that just like PDR, you want to make sure you do your research and find a qualified vinyl or PPF installer. This is courtesy of Paul out in Illinois. That's Without a Trace Paintless Dent Repair. He's a former advanced paintless dent repair student of mine that actually does PPF and vinyl, which is extremely rare that you can be good at both, but this guy does it every day, does a phenomenal job. But for now, this customer actually just decided to have me just touch up these bare areas until he makes up his mind as to what he wants to do after this repair is done. And as you can see, we did not drill any holes in this vehicle to gain access to the backside of the dent. We're going to actually corrosion protect the backside of the panel to give it those final touches. And we have one last look at the before. I know we showed these in the beginning, but they're pretty dramatic. Before and afters, you can see it came out fantastic. This customer was blown away with the results. Couldn't be happier knowing that the original paint and parts are still on the vehicle. Now, as to the paint, he's not sure what he wants to do yet, but more than likely he's probably going to have it either airbrush touched professionally or just have it repainted altogether, or probably put a vinyl wrap on it. This is basically his work truck and he uses it every single day. So I hope you learned something new. If you have any questions about paintless dent repair, you can visit the website at cfldentrepair.com, or for training inquiries, advanced one-on-one PDR training inquiries, you can visit the website and fill out the contact form as well under the training portion. Thanks for watching, guys.